God loves robbers, adulterers, even some of these sick ass pedophiles that we all want to kill, but he still loves them. So that's why I'm not understanding why the church can't love me.
Beats for the stars.
Put it like on tape. Put it like on tape.
What it do, family? It's your girl Tamika, and I am back with another video. I am back with another video from the car. Y'all know how I do it. Listen, if it's your first time here and you stumbling across the channel, first of all, I want to say welcome and make it permanent. Hit that subscribe button. Turn those post notifications on so we can stay connected as well. Shout out to my family, S&T. I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for coming back and tuning in. Man, y'all already know what the setup is, man. If you've been rocking with me from day one, man, y'all know that from time to time, I love to have these car chronicle videos where I just sit here and I talk to y'all, you know what I'm saying? And today I kind of want to talk about something important, something that usually people stay away from. It makes some people uncomfortable, and it's some things that people just truly don't understand. I really want to talk about gays and God. So without further ado, man, we about to slide into this video. You dig me? I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is a very delicate topic for me. Very delicate. Ever since it was known that I was a gay woman, there's always been this negative energy that surrounds homosexuality in the church. And today I want to talk about it. And I don't want to just scratch the surface of it. I want to get down in the meat and potatoes of it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Christian women that follows me. And I would love to have a conversation with you guys more so. Not saying that I would not love to hear the feedback from everybody. I just wouldn't mind having a very good conversation with the church folk. You see what I'm saying? I want to have that. I want to have that conversation with you guys, because one thing I can honestly say, this is an aspect of any gay person's life that I feel like we never stop seeking answers to, if that makes sense. Before we get into this video, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man, this video might be a couple parts, because like I really want to break things down the way that I view them. And I really want to have a very, very honest conversation with you guys. And you guys follow me. We always been family. And I want you to know right here, right now, that any opinion that you guys have, I'm not going to be pissed about it, because I'm one of the gay women that we're speaking about in the video. I want you guys to be completely transparent. Now, before we even get into this video, I'm going to start it off by telling you guys a situation that I encountered when I first came out the closet, so they say. I was with a female, and I'm not going to put no names out or anything like that, because that's not important. That's not important at all, or of importance. I was with a female for 4 years, almost 5 years, and I love this woman. You know what I mean? I love this woman. She was like my first girlfriend, the first time that I was really living in my truth. Now, excuse me, I don't want to get it twisted, because even now, you know what I mean, God and questions that Christians have about homosexuality is something that I never stop researching, if that makes sense. But anyway, I was with a girl for like 4 years, and we were in a relationship. Everything was perfect. You know, we had our normal arguments and shit like any heterosexual couple. You know, we were tested as well. But after 4 years of being together, I remember this night so vividly. We were laying in the bed, and I was in a dead-ass slumber. I'm talking about sleeping good. And she woke me up. And she told me that she could not be with me anymore because of her faith. Okay? Now, I have to also throw in the fact of the matter that her mother totally condemned homosexuality. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't blame her for that, because you got to understand that this was back in the day where, you know, being gay wasn't as accepted as it is now. So it probably had a little bit more of a to it, you know, back when I was growing up. Not saying that I'm old like that, but, you know, it was more than 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So her mother really did not understand it, didn't care to want to understand it. Really felt like whoever was gay, you know what I mean, was just like basically just on a one-way flight to hell. You know what I mean? So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of her background. So one day she woke up and she told me, she said, you know, I can't be with you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because of this turmoil that I'm feeling inside. It fucked me up, you know? But at the same time, I wasn't as mad, only because of the simple fact that how could I be mad at her, you know what I mean, for acting on a feeling that we both had felt. You see what I'm saying? So I allowed it. Her mother was happy. We broke up, you know what I'm saying? And it was a very, very terrible time for me. I just didn't understand it. It was at that time where I really would start questioning God. Like, is it because I am gay and, you know, I was in love like this? Is this why you took her from me? Like, is this wrong? Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It was all of these questions that I had. And I wanted the answers right then and right there. But I couldn't get them. So it made me go into this soul searching for myself. Now, she broke up with me. I allowed it. We went our separate ways. You understand? So, 2 years after we broke up, I bumped into her. Actually, she actually just stopped by where I used to live. And she pulled up on me. And we were sitting out there talking, and I noticed that she was pregnant. And at that moment, I really kind of got like a little bit like in my feels. Because I'm like, damn, it's been 2 years since we broke up. You're pregnant. You living your truth. You know what I mean? You're happy now. I wasn't prepared for what she was about to tell me. Okay? So in the midst of me kind of getting in my feelings, she looked at me and she had tears in her eyes. And I'm like, you know, what the hell is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? You pregnant? You got a blessing on the way? Like, what's wrong? Why you sad? You know what I'm saying? And she looked me dead in the face and told me that the person who she was with, the man that she tried to have a heterosexual relationship with, had gave her HIV and her baby has it. It fucked me up because the first thing I thought about was I can't stand her mama. Because at the end of the day, even though we broke up, like, I always had a certain love. I always wanted to make sure that she was okay. You know, I always thought about her like, damn, is she cool? It's different when you break up this way. You know what I'm saying? It's almost more like nobody did nothing wrong. You just can't be together. When you think about it, that's some deep shit. It's almost kind of like when you're with someone who you really love, who you really see a future with, and that person passes away. That person didn't want the relationship to end. You didn't want the relationship to end, but you just still got to deal with the fact that it's over. So when we broke up, that's a little bit of a way that I can describe on how I felt, you know? So then we fast forward 2 years down the line, and she is revealing this to me. I'm not gonna lie, I got teary-eyed because it made me feel like, damn, should I have fought harder for her? Maybe if I would have fought harder for her, then she wouldn't have met this dude who just completely not only corrupted her life, but her baby that's in her womb's life. You see what I'm saying? So now it really had my confliction with God at an all-time high. Because I'm like, oh, hold on for a second. This girl, she did the right thing, right? She left me. She left the gay girl, you know what I'm saying, to be with a man. Isn't that what she was supposed to do? Isn't that what the Bible detailed her to do? She did that. She went out here just being a thought. She trusted one dude after me. And this dude ruined her life. The fuck? You see what I'm saying? So it made my confliction even more. So everything that I thought I researched, I just was not even sure about anymore. Because I'm like, hold on. And then I got mad at her mother. I don't think I ever hated a person in my life. But for that moment, I think that I was semi-hating her. Because she had pushed. She pushed She pushed her daughter to, don't be with her. You can't be with her. She pushed her. She pushed her. And I know a lot of things came from what she was brought up, learned behavior. If you grew up in a Christian household, 9 times out of 10, you're going to know a lot of things about Christians. It's learned behavior, what you see. So I know that there were certain things that she was seeking as well, but her mother pushed her right out there to that dude. So I was pissed at her. And I was even more pissed when she looked at me and she said, I wonder if any of this would have happened if I would have stayed with you. Whew. Usually I'm the bad guy. I'm the homo guy. You know what I'm saying? But now, because your life has been altered forever, now you question these things. Now, I want to play devil's advocate because I want to also show you both aspects. Now, in the Christian person's eyes, she did the right thing. I feel to my heart that she did the right thing only because it was the one thing that I thought made her happy. Even if I was unhappy. You know what I'm saying? But I allowed her to do that. Because who am I to come between her and her God? Because ain't nobody coming between me and mine. You see what I'm saying? But it was a moment when we was sitting out there and we were talking. And she said it. I did everything right as a Christian woman. I left the person that I was truly in love with. I got in a relationship with a man that I didn't wholeheartedly love. But I didn't not love him correctly, if that make him any sense. And she was talking about all of these things that she did. She even honored her mother by leaving me, because her relationship with her and her mother had got so crazy to where, like, she also felt bad that she didn't have a relationship with her mother anymore because I was included in her life. So she did all of these things that she was supposed to do by the rules, and then this still happened. And it might have been prevented if she would have known that she had it in the first place. She actually didn't even find out until one of those routine checks. And by that time, it was too late to govern any medicine to her daughter. You know? Now, I brought this situation up because I want you guys to see how deep my confliction lies when it comes down to homosexuality in the church. This was a situation that's always fucked me up. I think that example that I just shared with you guys were pretty much the pinnacle of where a lot of my confusion has come from. Before that situation, I really didn't have any validity on, what was right, what was wrong. Even to this day, I don't. You know what I mean? Now, I feel more comfortable in my own skin to this day. I do. In this video, we're going to touch on a lot of different things. We're going to actually see, I'm going to actually show some clips or share some clips with you from certain articles from gay pastors. And I'm going to also show you some clips from people or pastors now who still condone it. And I want to talk about it. I really do. This particular situation is always going to be dear to my heart, and it's also something that I know that so many of us struggle with. We do. And I really want to have a better understanding on how people view me sometimes. Because at the end of the day, no matter how a person want to be accepting of the gay people, or, I don't have no problem with him and blah, blah, this and that, I still want to know if you guys truly know us. Because for some reason, we would never hold the same equivalence as a heterosexual relationship. And that's where my confusion lies. God, to me, is love. Okay? No matter how. And I know a lot of people going to be in the comments like, that is the number one thing that you gay people say we do. Because it's the only thing that I can honestly say is factual. God is love. You know what I mean? When we open up our Bible sometimes, it's written by authors. It's written by men. scholars that got together and took certain passages from God himself and tried to interpret it for the masses. Now, I say this is to say that some of these guys that write the Bible are still human. And some of the things that they are interpreting comes from a time where it was completely different. When I look at the Bible, and I'm not just talking about homosexuality, I notice a lot that it was really structured for man. Have you ever noticed that? You know, men were able to do a lot more than women. Women were very submissive to men. At one point, it says in the Bible, and I'm going to actually put the clips up because I know how y'all do. You know, proof. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put the clip up. But it was actually, actually a scripture that says that if a woman is raped and a child was born from that rape, she should marry her rapist. See, it's things like that I really struggle to understand, because to me that was an interpretation from a very barbaric time. And then you look at the Old Testament and you're reading this, and then you're looking at the New Testament and they have variations, and I'm trying to figure out, like, why are there variations? There's one thing to break it down to where we can understand it, but not complete variations. Why are there certain scriptures that are removed entirely? These are the questions that I have sometimes, and I still struggle with them. I do. I really, really do. But let's talk about it. The reason why I think that the Old Testament and the New Testament varies is because man is different. Man is different. It was certain things that men held to a completely different capacity back then than they do now. And as you can see, the New Testament kind of soften that image of man up. It truly does. But even with all of this, all of the discrepancies that we're going to get into, and all of the things that people will say, well, I don't think that it is a problem with homosexuality. And there's going to be some people that say, well, you still going to hell. And both of those things could be 100% true. We would never know. And it's only being, and I say that because we won't never know. We won't. And that's why we have the terminology faith. Don't nobody even really know if it's really a God. You know, we've had that conversation before. Is there such thing as heaven? Is there really a hell? You know what I mean? We don't know those things wholeheartedly. You know? But we rely on our faith to be able to say, you know what, it is. So with that being said, that's why I don't understand why people have such a huge problem with homosexuality. I'm married, okay? And I'm going to be completely honest with you again. I never wanted to be married. Never. I never did. The reason being is because of certain conflictions I had with my own spirituality. I said, damn, it's one thing that I'm gay, but I can't get married. Like, what if? What if? But then I got to thinking, like, well, what if God don't view me like everybody is trying to make me believe? Now I have ruined my whole life by not living the truth, not living my truth that God gave me to begin with. You see what I'm saying? We go through some shit, man. And a lot of people don't understand. Like, you think that we would honestly subject ourselves to this turmoil if it was a choice? If we just didn't feel this way? Some of us just feel uncomfortable in our own skin. And a lot of people think that there's been, some old traumatic situation with some man that got you want to be with women. No, they didn't. I've been surrounded by good men all my life. I've even dated some very bomb dudes. You know what I mean? It's not the that was never the problem. The problem was I never looked at that man the way he deserved to have me look at him. Because to me, that wasn't fair. I could say, you know what? Let me not be married to Shamika right now and try to be with a man, okay? I could be doing everything right. I'm with a man now, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I got to do to try to bear this man's kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing all of these things. But inside, I'm not living my true self. I'm not 100% happy. So if I'm not 100% happy myself by trying to live this fictitious version of myself, then what am I really truly doing? Or what am I really truly giving to this man and these kids? If we can't 100% love each other or ourselves completely, it's impossible for us to love another person completely. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? I get up every morning like any man, okay? I do what I got to do to take care of my wife like any man, all right? I got my wife on my insurance like any man. You know what I mean? I protect my wife like any man. I love my wife probably beyond the depths of some men, okay? Her best interest is my best interest. Her family is my family. I take everything that comes along with my wife and accept it. Now, there's a man that does the same exact thing, okay? We both love our wives with a completely different capacity, you know what I'm saying, than we ever have loved someone. But my love for my wife is not treated the same because in some people's eyes, it's impossible for us to be able to be in a healthy, thriving relationship where God leads our relationship because we're homosexual. Y'all gotta help me understand in these comments. Seriously. The thing that I don't understand is that, I know you heard this one because this is another one that, you know, homosexuals love to throw at church folks. Well, each sin is equivalent to each sin. Me being with her ain't no different from his cheating ass, or her eating ass, or his long-haired ass. Because that's in the Bible too. That men ain't even supposed to wear their hair to a certain length. No, you can't. You would not get in the walls of heaven according to the Bible that we read and we've come to understand. You know, so it's like, what makes homosexuality so different from the murderers? I mean, it's like you almost going to church and you could be coming in there with convicts, murderers, deacons that cheat, all of this shit. But the moment they realize you gay, boy, it is like World War III. Now, to me, I don't understand how that could be love. You have people coming into the church to trying to get closer to God. You don't got gays and lesbians and transgenders and deacons who cheat and adulterers. You got your people. You are God's people coming into the church. What makes the lesson seeming to be that it need to be really read to me than the motherfuckers I came into the church with? Sorry for cussing, but y'all see where I'm trying to go with this. What makes what I do just that much more terrible? You understand? My father told me, and I've shared this with you guys before, like my father was like a very sanctified man. You know what I mean? He still had his shortcomings when it came down to doing everything biblically correct, but he was very in tune with the Bible and certain things, and he was the only person mainly that I was really afraid of upsetting. I'm like, man, my daddy gonna flip out. You know, he used to always say, I can't wait till you give me a grandkid, and I wanted to give it to him, but I wouldn't have been living my truth. I wouldn't have been, you know. I would have did it all for the wrong reasons. Not saying that I don't want kids, but I didn't want a man. So I was so scared to tell my dad this shit. I'm like, man, I finally told him. And I was prepared to like not talk to my father no more. Not knowing that, not even understanding on how I would be able to get through life because he was my best friend up to this point. So I really felt like I would be letting him down. But my father said something to me that I just think that I've always been blessed with. He might not agree with it, but he loved me anyway. And as simple as that shit may seem to people, it's really not. It's not at all. I've seen families really just totally isolate their children because of the things that they go through inside when it comes down to homosexuality. But that was the thing that probably saved my life. Because the struggles and the turmoil that I went through was starting to take a toll on not just me, my mental health, my body. It was really starting to do that. So when my father accepted me, it was almost kind of like a big weight was off of me. Now, he made it very clear where his stance still was. You know what I'm saying? But he also said, I'm going to love you regardless, because as a parent, that's what I'm supposed to do. Protect you, love you, try to guide you as much as I possibly can. But Tamika, you're at a certain age now where now you can have your own conversation with God. You have your own rapport with him. So I'm going to do what I continue doing. And that's loving my daughter. And ain't nothing going to change about that. And it didn't. Some people don't have the luxury of having that. Not at all. Sometimes it's a matter of life and death. Because some people can't live their life being somebody else who they feel like they truly aren't. And they just end their lives. This topic, man, is so vast, because sometimes when people see same sex, the first thing they seem to like just dive, or they seem to see right away is just the anatomy of things. You see two same-sex persons, the first thing that you think about is sex, what they do. We go through the same circumstances as anybody else. Seriously. So that's why I don't understand why that's always highlighted. When you love somebody, man, that's all it should be about. Love. The way that God loves us. God loves robbers, adulterers, even some of these sick-ass pedophiles that we all want to kill, but he still loves them. So that's why I'm not understanding why the church can't love me. God paints that example every single day. That's where my confusion lies.